time, kids. Arriba, Brandon. Welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'm Tom Connors. With me is I guess he'd be my deputy today, Mexican Iron Man. How you doing?
Arriba, andale. That's how you say it, Tom. Arriba, andale. And I'm here because I'm having the worst day ever.
Oh, no.
And there's no better way than when you're ready to clear defeat on the day, which I'm still in the middle of a huge battle on the business front. I said, you know what? F it. I got a couple hours to go blow off some steam on Midnight's Edge After Dark. Yep.
That gets a no.
Oh, no.
So what's wrong? Why are you having the worst day?
Oh, it's too much to get into, but basically everything's going wrong on the work front. Everything's going wrong on the work front. You got a staff person I may have to replace.
Ugh.
Yeah, just, you take off for 4 or 5 days, go out in the Nashville, Tennessee Valley, go get in some lightsaber battles. You come back, and little do you know, a Death Star is aiming stuff right at your own business planet.
Jeez. Well, hopefully you get that worked out.
I will, because I'm Mexican Iron Man. I just put the sombrero on, and I put Six's favorite Mexican iron thong on, the red, white, and green one she likes.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go and do battle. Speaking of which, look who's here.
Yes, that's a good segue. Six, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having a fantastic day, but I don't want to brag about it because I feel badly for Mikey.
No, brag about it. Dang it. I can take joy in others.
Well, I got a package from Amazon, and I didn't run out of gas on my way home. And we had a nice, peaceful rain, so I got a good, solid 3-hour nap in today. I'm feeling really good.
Oh, a 3-hour nap would have been so nice. That's how you know when you're getting, I say that, you used to just make shit up now that you used to do for reals, just so people don't think you're less cool. It's like, yeah, I did this, that, and the other, and when you really just took a nap. Yeah. Also with us, Nick. How you doing?
I'm good, Sir Tom. Feeling good as well, like Six. I had a nice cup of coffee, and I've been going at it since 5 something. So
Yikes. Still
feeling good. So still in the game. So
AM or PM?
AM.
Oh,
and you still got Rocky tonight?
And I still got Rocky. Dude, this is my every single Tuesday. I go to work, I be dad. And then I get ready for the 2 back-to-back shows, and I knock out around, obviously like midnight, sometimes midnight 30, and I sleep for like 4 or 5 hours and go back to work and do it again Wednesday morning. Yeah.
I don't envy you, but I definitely admire you. Joining us finally, you're late.
I didn't get the link when we were supposed to be live. And
it
then
was there.
No, it wasn't.
Mike's here.
I see that, but I'm looking around. It wasn't in my DM. You want to blame me? It's fine.
Let's see.
Can you guys ever sign on to a stream and not be acting like a married couple one time?
Look,
just one time.
I went off and did other things. I fired them. If somebody doesn't want me on the show, I don't get a link.
Oh my God! What do you mean doesn't want you on the show? Who could not want Culture Casino on the show?
Look, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's my shtick, by the way. Don't be stealing my shtick.
Yeah.
My shtick is the whole no one wants Mexican
I
Iron
want
Man.
nothing to do with your shtick.
Wait, no, he wants everything to do with this shtick, especially if it's the Mexican Iron Man shtick.
I want to handle your shtick.
No! Not with the guys here. That's weird. Well,
4 minutes in.
Yeah, that'd be weird with the guys here. Okay, guys, you gotta. Yeah, I don't know what to say right now.
I don't know what's happening either.
I needed a segue out of that one.
It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah. Welcome, Culture. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I was surprised that, I got a link to the show.
You're fired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
That's how I feel
Quit
every
your
day.
bitching, and that's going to happen.
I'm not
You're
bitching.
on every show, Culture. The problem is you just can't tell which live stream you're on any given time of the day.
That's not true.
It is.
I've been trying to listen. I have this advisor and
Oh my God. Okay, you know all the shows that I see you on that I lurk in? I'm gonna start tagging you with super chats. Saw you, found you, there you are. Love you,
that's
miss
fine.
you. I'm
Hey.
like Culture Casino's like Mexican stalker fan. Like I follow him everywhere. Like as soon as I see, like the only thing that pisses me off is in the morning when he does his 6-minute dailies. Like I'm usually on a conference call or something, and then I miss it and I can't send him coffee. But I always listen to the 6-minute daily.
Look, between you and a couple other lovely human beings, I get that coffee sticker and I'm like, oh yeah, I need more coffee. That's my life though, is coffee.
I wonder how long it's gonna take.
I'm sorry, Tom. Are you bored of this conversation?
Moving on.
That's Tom reminding us that this is his show.
It is. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I'm
to
gonna
see
shut
what,
up now.
I'm waiting to see what the show is about.
Well, as you can tell from the title, they're trying to cancel Bill Murray.
Yeah.
We got a Weird Al trailer today, and then of course the other talk of the town besides the trial is the movie that drops in the next few days.
Yeah, and then drop is indeed the correct word.
But yes, we have a member chat and a couple of super chats already, so let's get to those. We have Gonzalo Bergali, who's been a member for 6 months at the maximum effort puppy level. Says, always a pleasure to listen to you guys. Well, we're pleased to have you here. Thank you for being here, Gonzalo. And then we got Darius Munchausen sending us a super sticker. Willing to bet it's popcorn. I don't even have to look, but I'm willing to bet it is. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Oh, it's too far back. It was popcorn, wasn't it? You could tell. All right. Thanks for anybody answering. Pilgrim Media.
If it's not popcorn, I always tell you.
Yeah, I figured as much. Pilgrim Media says, wasn't Bill Murray killed in Zombieland? No. In the end credits, he's still alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he lived in that movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he lived in that.
Yeah, even though he was stabbed because they thought he was his
fucking Murray. Oh, I love that scene. And he does all his punches. Bill fucking Murray, man.
I had to work that into the video today. All right, and then we have member chat from E. Clay Thomason, who's been a member for 10 months at the maximum effort puppy level. Says, I'm not ready for Weird Al Potter. He's too tiny. We're going to get into that too. That dropped today. Nikki D wants to know, will Professor X say, I'm sorry? Doctor Strange 2 as often as Picard does. Depends on, he dies like 3 times probably.
God, Professor X dies again. First he died in X-Men The Last Stand, then in Logan, and now in this one. He just can't stop dying.
I know he dies at least once. So.
Wow. Popcorn.
It's a whole lot of death in this film, I'm telling you.
Well, something that doesn't at least appear to be dying yet is Bill Murray's career. And for those who haven't seen the video yet on the main channel, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true.
But the short version of that is this all starts about 2 weeks ago when it was announced that production on Being Mortal was being shut down. They didn't really give us anything at first, but then instantly people started speculating that it was because of Bill Murray. Then another statement came out that it was not because of Aziz Ansari or his co-star Seth Rogen, but a source had claimed that it was Bill Murray. So then the internet started speculating away. Something we didn't cover in our video, of course, right off the bat, plenty wanted to jump right into the inappropriate behavior, meaning, touching of some kind. And that was something that some of the less reputable sources ran with, mostly Page 6, which is, to the best of my knowledge, is a tabloid rag at best.
No relation.
Yeah, no relation to R6. And then it came out that it was that people started correlating with this post that was put out by Kiki Palmer on the 18th of April, where she was talking about professionalism and all this other business. And we cover all that in the video. But something that isn't covered in the video, though, is 2 days after that, she dropped that. And the exact same day that they announced the production was shut down, Kiki had a little puff piece put out about her. And as we've learned throughout the JDAH trial, nothing is a coincidence in Hollywood. They coordinate these things. So I'm starting to smell something stinky. Much like with the AH situation, nobody really knew who she was before she married so-and-so. And a lot more people knew who she was after she made some allegations, let's say. And it looks like somebody might be riding the same train. Now, I don't want to make too many harsh accusations. I'm going to say allegedly. But on the other side of this, we have a snowflake of an individual who appears to have had an entire production shut down because she didn't like a joke. And it doesn't even sound like the joke was racial in any way or sexual in any way, according to anybody's account, including hers. So yeah, I'm hard-pressed to wonder why a multi-million-dollar production is being shut down because some, I think she's in her 30s, year-old actress, in quotations, had her fifis hurt. Let's start with you, Nick. What's your take on all this?
This just sounds more entitled petty Hollywood, really. To sum it up, there's really nothing too extensive here. Just dumb Hollywood people being entitled and thinking they can just get anyone. Much like how her thinks she can get Depp, and this lady, I already forgot her name, thinking she can get Bill Murray. See, that's how irrelevant she is to me. Like her name is just like, no, it's a fart in the wind, basically. Like, it's just,
I keep remembering her name because she sounds like when I hear the name Kiki Palmer, it makes me think of a tennis player in the 80s for some reason. I just like that sounds like just comes to mind. I don't know.
I'm gonna call her Shanae.
Shanae. I'll go
Oh,
Shaniqua.
boy. Canceled.
I have a feeling this story is gonna. I mean, it doesn't sound like Bill Murray is. I read his response was kind of weird. Like it was hard to make of it. So I'm waiting for more time to tell before I guess you could say whether he's fully bending the knee or if he's just letting this hope to go away. I don't know. This situation's just honestly, this shouldn't even. The fact that this is even like a headline shows you how far we've fallen in Hollywood with all this crap.
Well, did you see the video we dropped today, or did you happen to see his?
I caught a portion of it, but I didn't catch it all. So
did you happen to see what he said this weekend, which made the news even bigger, if you ask me? But
it did make the nudes even bigger.
It did make the nudes even
bigger. Maybe I did not. I caught a statement, but I don't know when it was said. So you may.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can just pull up the video here, because we got right out of Bill's mouth. So let's see what I do with it. While I'm looking for that, Mike, you want to grab a super chat or two?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to do that. Let's go with Big Daddy MRI, who sends us a super sticker. It is which one was it?
Popcorn.
Love the popcorn. Oh, get me some popcorn today. And Adam Wolford with a $5 super chat says, so I don't have anything to say, but I will leave with a random fact. Goat's milk that has its DNA mixed with a spider's is far more smoother than cow's. Wait, what?
What?
And see, and then you tell me I can't drink on the show. And then Adam Wolford comes in and stumbles in.
But does it turn you into a spider person?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that Mark's 47. Or Mark S47. Mark's 47. Mark S47
you can't milk a spider.
13 months. He's been a minimum effort puppy. And they get Big Daddy MRI? Yeah, I got him.
Now he sent us a hot dog.
Ooh, yum. Thank you,
getting
Big Daddy
sexually
MRI.
suggestive.
By the way, I want to congratulate and recognize Six for finding a way around the StreamYard crap about member chats. That's brilliant.
Yes, she had a really
job.
brilliant idea.
Thank you.
She's a smarty pants.
So
All
we're
right.
not going to watch this whole 5-minute thing, but like most of it's all in the beginning here anyway. So this
Okay.
was Bill's response
for
to
a
the whole
long time.
situation.
You've known Warren for a long time. This is the first time you're actually coming to the meeting this time around, and those are the people at home didn't get to see the movie. You were in the movie. You guys did a skit at the end of the movie that I guess you filmed a couple of weeks here. I want to get into all of your thoughts on the meeting today, why you're here. But before we do, I'd just like to jump in. You've been in the headlines recently because of a movie you've been working on, Being Mortal. Production was shut down, and this is the first time you're talking. I just wonder what happened.
Well, there's a difference of, we had a difference of opinion. I had a difference of opinion with a woman I'm working with. I did something I thought was funny, and it wasn't taken that way. The company, the movie studio, wanted to do the right thing, so they wanted to check it all out, investigate it, and so they stopped the production. But as of now, we're talking, and we're trying to make peace with each other. I think that's where the real issue is between.
This is what I read, Tom. I didn't know there was a video of it. I read a transcript basically of this. I read it in typed format. So okay, so I did see all this. I still stand by, like, why is this being talked to? They're acting like this is like this big therapeutic thing, like this was like a bad, like,
Oh, I think he was put through a
thing.
struggle session.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so, because the type of terms he uses, education.
Oh
good
my God,
learning
this right here
experience.
is a different version of a hostage
Like,
video.
are you talking about like kind of like similar to the one that Gina Carano was talking about when she had her
Yes,
interview with
yes.
Ben Shapiro? Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay, yeah. I mean, over that, and that's, I feel like that makes it even dumber. It's just like we're doing all this re-education and all this, like, I guess if you want to use therapy for lack of a better word, over this is so dumb. I can't believe this shit.
Well, he said something interesting about, he said, he's done not much else than think about it for the last 2 weeks. And I just wondered, did the producer say to him, sit him down and say, go home and think about what you've done?
I'm sure they did, like a little child.
Yeah.
Well, we can finish it, 'cause actually I think he says that here in a little bit.
He does.
Because the bit about this is only like 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, let it rip.
We like each other's work. We like each other, I think. And
I think.
if we can't really get along and trust each other, there's no point in going further, working together or making a movie as well. It's been quite an education
Yeah,
for me. I've
it's
been
an education.
been doing not much else but thinking about it for the last week or two.
Really,
And,
Bill?
I feel like if I don't see that, you know, the world's different than it was when I was a little kid. You know, what I always thought was funny as a little kid isn't necessarily the same as what's funny now.
See, somebody told him that.
Things change and
Yep.
the times change. So it's important for me to figure it out. And I think the most important thing is that it's best for the other person. I thought about it and I figured if it's not best for the other person, it doesn't matter what happens for me.
And that right there is their main mantra. It doesn't matter if it's good for you or not. It's about me. See, that's their whole fucking thing.
It's not about we, it's about me. It's not about overall what's good for everybody. It's about what someone wants. God, I'm so sick of these motherfucking.
Yeah, dude, no,
brain would
Mike.
explode.
I cannot believe they've got. You know what, Bill? You should tell them to F off because you're a fucking legend. You should tell them to F off, and they can take their little bullshit, and you can say that you've had more comedy in the tip of your freaking left pinky than this dumbass bitch will ever have anywhere in Hollywood for the rest of her career.
I don't think you're wrong, but let's see what Culture has to say about it. We talked a little bit earlier. Culture.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his apology. You know, I mean, and I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of this technique of publicly shaming people. You know, even if you feel a little bit slighted, we have a shitload of spoiled human beings in the United States, and unfortunately, a lot of the most spoiled, self-involved, narcissistic, whatever terminology you want to throw out there, they all end up in fucking Hollywood. They are the most dysfunctional, and you don't have to look that far. Look at the trial with the Kardashians. That's where that's at. Look at the trial, obviously.
Kardashians. Now, what did they do?
Oh, the fiance, Rob Kardashian's fiance, Black China.
Okay.
went after them for something. I
Oh,
don't know,
geez, I didn't even know this
defamation.
was going on. That's how much I give a shit about the
Yeah,
Kardashians.
I
Yeah,
mean,
how did
but
that name come into this stream?
I'm sorry. I'm just giving you examples of self-involved human beings, which
He's
would
got a point
also
there.
include, which would also include obviously Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. I mean, we're seeing it constantly, right? And people place so much importance on themselves, as Mike was talking about, that they often don't recognize that everybody has the needs, and everybody's hierarchy of needs is true to themselves. You don't get to dictate to me how I'm going to act, right? And that's just the way life is. I mean, I will act with civility. I will treat you with respect as long as it's returned in kind. And I think that's ultimately what's been lost in especially with social media, because people can keyboard warrior away, and then they feel like, well, I'm offended, I'm going to respond and attack you until you apologize. Go ahead, don't care. This is the biggest thing, is they allow for this to happen. You are granting them power. So that's what Bill did. Bill granted them power.
Yeah.
And you don't do that. There's nobody other than you has power over you.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there.
Say again.
I said, yeah, I don't think you're wrong there, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up the court case too, because I feel like we're learning a lot from like the last two guys that were on the stand from Hollywood. They gave us a big look into what Hollywood's been like, especially when it revolves around, say, the Me Too situation, which really parallels what we're dealing with here with Bill, even though there's actually no quote unquote Me Too-ish style accusations. Kiki even came out and made another statement similar to
Which was
that.
dumb.
Like, it's like, yeah, no means no, even if it has nothing to do with sex and all this crap. It's like, wow, you are really taking this to a fucking level. But before I dive into it too much,
yeah, and like I said, I mean, just to wrap that all up, this is what Chapek needed to do: take the air out of the balloon. Don't say anything. The crisis crisis PR people will tell you, if you can't change the conversation, end the conversation. Seriously, if you can change the conversation, if you don't like what's being said about you, change the conversation. The next step, if you can't change the conversation, is to stop conversation, because it goes away. There are other more important weird things that are going to happen tomorrow in the entertainment industry and business and court cases. Stop. If you stop, it goes away.
Yeah. Well, let's get this from a female perspective. Six.
Indeed.
What's your take on this? And not only that, do you see this as a common issue where women use their positions to anymore, basically, for lack of better term, swing their dicks around?
I don't know if she's necessarily doing it because she's a female, but I did a little looking on this young woman, and she broke up with her boyfriend a week before.
Oh my God.
Incident.
See, guys would never think of anything like this. I was on my period and I just broke up with my boyfriend, so I was in a really bad place.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So she might have been a little bit vulnerable, a little bit sensitive, and then Bill Murray did a typical Bill Murray joke, which we all would have found hysterical, but she did not. And so I can't help but wonder if that had something to do with it. And also, her career is kind of weird. She was just announced to be hosting a Password reboot. And she's also narrating a documentary on HBO about self-care beauty products. But then at the same time, she also did a voice in the new Lightyear movie. And so I can't figure out what her career is about. Is she taking any job that she can get, and she's just trying to get her name in the news? Or am I thinking that she needed a little therapy from the post-breakup because I'm so wrapped up in this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial and listening to the psychologist's point of view? So I really can't get a handle on this woman, on what exactly she's doing.
Yeah, I don't know much about her either, other than she's obviously been acting for close to like 15, 20 years almost, something like that. She was like a kid actor, it looked like, or something like that. And then she became the typical Disney / Nickelodeon star kind of thing. She became the singer, whatever it looks like. And stuff like that. And I mean, she put this Instagram post out there, and that is where a lot of people started equating things. And you know, yeah, a lot of the things she says in that post, most people would probably agree with, but the fact that she made that post is, to me, very hypocritical in a lot of ways. But I did
But
not
you
know.
can't
she
say
was
that
such a woman.
about females. You can't say that about minorities at all, can you, Tom?
Well, let's get your
And you
take on
can't
this,
say
Mike.
it if you're freaking a white guy, right?
Because let's get your take on this.
Well,
Mike,
I got
because,
news for everybody. Guess what? I checked my birth certificate, and it says Caucasian, #upgrade. I get to speak as a white guy today.
That's right. Mama Cita looking out for you.
That's right. Mexican Iron Man, he get his passport, and he found out that his brown taco ass self is officially a Caucasian on my birth certificate.
He wants that white privilege.
Yep, I'm ready to be called racist like the rest of y'all. The only privilege that you white people get, Tom, I've come to a conclusion. All y'all white people on the panel with me. Yeah, I've come to a conclusion. The only privilege you guys get is that you get to be called racist.
Anymore, you're not wrong.
like your privilege is you get to be called racist, and you can't do anything about it. That's your privilege. I don't know what kind of that's not exactly the club I'm trying to get into, but here we are.
Well, and what really scares
you
me
know, humility is what's needed here. You're a young comedian, or you're in this movie, and you know the thing about Bill is this: he's older. It's a season sorry movie, for God's sake. A comedian at not even half his age, and this winch. I mean, really, Bill? I mean, okay, maybe he's having some post midlife crisis or something like that. Like, oh, I need to understand what the fuck is my phone ringing? Maybe he's having something where he needs to understand how the young kids do. And maybe he's having some kind of crisis. If I were him, it shouldn't matter what these morons think. I don't give a shit. Aziz Ansari, really? You know, he decides to shut. Well, you know what? You shut the movie down. You're Mexican Iron Man. I'm like, fuck you. I'm out. Peace. But you know what? This to me shows what's happened with being a white guy right now is that you guys are so under hot. The white dudes are so under siege in this effing country. And by the way, it's not about equality. It's not about equity. It's not about opportunity. All my progressive liberal former fucking friends. You know what it's about? It's about revenge. That's what this shit's about.
For
it's
shit
about
we had nothing to do with.
It's about made up effing revenge. And it's about laziness and revenge. All of you other and I'm calling out all my progressive liberal ass motherfucking former friends. And I got street cred because I was a community activist for 30 years before I saw the light. You know what? It's about laziness and it's about revenge. Work hard, have some humility, and learn from the greatness that is Bill Murray. And maybe, just maybe, you'll have a career and something to be proud of when you get to be in his age. Other than that, bitch, sit down, buy a dog, die alone. Purina Cat Show on sale at the local Petco.
And Mike, that's how all of them are going to be because they don't want anyone, and I mean anyone, to have a sliver of hope or a form of success. They want to say that you are great and you are amazing or you look great, even if you actually aren't, whether it's out of shape or like on X amount of drugs. But the minute you try to do anything to actually improve your life, aka step out of line, they will write you off and call you all the things that they claim to be tolerant against. Everything they're like, oh, you can't say that's bad. They will say all those things the minute you actually try to make a change in your life that is for the better of yourself. These type of people will die with their ideology, and they're going to rot, and they're just going to blame everyone else but themselves because they're taught only to blame everyone else but themselves because in their mindset, it's everyone's fault but my own.
Do you think that Bill is turning into one of them?
To a degree, it's possible. I mean, he may be one of those guys where he lived long enough to see himself become the villain in some ways, and it's unfortunate because I was hoping Bill Murray would age like Lemmy. Lemmy was Lemmy until the day he died, and now Bill Murray. And I thought Bill Murray would have that, but except for Hollywood, and it seems like that's not going to be that.
Because he said he's learned more in the last year or two than he has in the previous decade, and so.
Probably the first time he's had a talking to.
Yeah,
he probably said something in private.
The last 2 years.
Yeah, he's done so many said so many things. Also, we all know he's historically crazy on set. So you mix that in with any joke that has somehow offended someone in any movie, and now with this, it's just the perfect concoction to go after him. And even the thing is, him apologizing in any way, it's just going to give them more mileage to go after him again and again, and they're going to expect even more and more perfection from him they're never going to say stop. The only way you tell these people to stop is to tell them to back the fuck off, because they're not going to stop. When you apologize, you are giving them more power to have them have power over you. Seriously, you can't apologize to these people no matter what. Because
they're going to start demanding an apology for everything that he's done over his career. They're just going to go back further and further and
they're
further.
going to dig for more and more. It doesn't stop at that apology. They just keep going to more and more and more.
You know what I want? I want an apology from these progressive liberal woke asses. You know what? I want an apology from you that you're an effing snowflake and that you effing need safe space. I want an apology from your mom and your dad, whether they're together or divorced. And I want an apology for them for making you this way or letting you become this way. And no, I'm not going to support, writing off your stupid student loans for your basket weaving degree that you got.
Fuck off.
While we're on the topic.
No, you're right, Mike. Well, not my fault you chose to go lose $100,000 on a piece of paper that isn't worth shit. You made that decision. You can die by it.
I have a degree in strategies on diversity and inclusion. Okay, that's called how about you get a job and learn how to get along. There's my degree.
Well, it's about damn time
College
the
is not the
education
only
system
way.
starts ripping off the rich people and not just the poor, right?
Except the problem is, they're also ripping off the poor and the middle class, because you can get student money that you can get it easy. That money was easy money. And then they expanded that money to be available for people for their living expenses, to pay their rent and all the other crap that goes along with life. Instead of those people having a job and like dealing with real life, they finance their future.
Well, yeah, that's like that bitch who ended up getting like what, $500,000 out of this shit or some shit like that.
I'm like, you financed your future and did no work while you were in school. I worked 3 damn jobs.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that. Like this idea of being able to get the living expenses added into the loans is a bad idea. But all right, back on topic. Okay. I agree with pretty much everybody here on the panel for the most part. I think Kiki is using this as some opportunity. I don't think the joke was anything that bad. In fact, the best that we can get out of it is it was juvenile in some way. That doesn't mean it was sexual. Doesn't even mean it was racially involved, because I guarantee you if it was racially insensitive, Kiki'd be
that would have been everywhere shit. Right away. There wouldn't have been any of this subtle undermining
and not only that,
bullshit.
Bill is not racist. If anything, he's known as one of the most giving guys in the world. He insisted, that Ernie Hudson got paid the same amount they did in the last couple Ghostbuster movies, and made sure they had the same. He had the same amount of lines and things of that sort. He's always been kind of a lefty, so that part doesn't surprise me.
And that's fine.
But I think what he's finally realizing is the left has gone so much farther left than he realized.
And that's something Tom knows about.
Yeah. And not only that, I see a man right now who, here's the thing, is he could just say fuck you and walk away. It's not like he doesn't have the money. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. What Bill does right now in his life, he does because he wants to. Mm-hmm. So he's doing whatever it is for a reason. And it sounds to me like he's standing his ground by not leaving this movie. And that's where the impasse seems to be coming. You've hit, a situation where Kiki's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing. She's refusing to work with him. He appears to be making every step he can to try and make this better. She seems to be the one that's the resistant party from what he's saying, and the fact that the production is still shut down and they have no clear idea if it's going to pick back up. I think at this point it's not going to. Once these kind of things happen, this production gets shut down unless somebody comes up with something, because they can't fire her. They won't fire her.
No.
Nope. They don't fire Ezra Miller, so what do you think they're going to do about her?
There's no fucking way Kiki's going to get fired. Now, if this was 5 years ago, Kiki, we wouldn't even have heard about this. Kiki'd have been out the door before she even had a chance to fucking finish her fucking gripe about a stupid fucking joke. Because they're like, are you fucking serious that you're bitching about a joke that Bill Murray fucking made? Here was my point online before I knew anything about this. I said, I don't give a fuck if it's the most racially insensitive, sexually driven, out of taste joke in the fucking world. It's Bill fucking Murray. You laugh and move on. Because unless he's doing something that's clearly, like, I have yet to come across something that
unless he touched her.
Exactly, and there's
in
none of
an
that.
inappropriate way. I don't mean touching
that.
her hair or touching, her shoulder. I mean like touching her boob or touching her bought
And
or
there's
something
never
like
been
that.
any of
That's
those kind of
right.
accusations
Yeah.
against Bill. They tried, like I said, those tabloids tried to go there right away because somebody supposedly leaked from the set that was the situation, but that went away pretty quick when people discovered Kiki's post, and then the statements have been coming out, and ever since then we're getting a clearer picture. We just don't know what the joke was. So at this point, until I know what the joke was, as far as I'm concerned, Kiki's being a butthurt, like little fucking snowflake, and she just shut an entire production down and probably cost God knows how many people their jobs. Because in most of these cases, I don't think people get paid until the movie's over.
Nope, they don't. I can tell you from having run a production accounting office in Santa Monica, specifically for Hollywood, that no, they don't. And that, it to me shows how much selfishness there are with these people, how much selfishness and greed. And the thing about these Hollywood assholes, and maybe Bill's guilty of what I'm about to say to some extent, how these people care about oxygen first, attention second, then maybe food and water. But usually before food and water becoming irrelevant. That is how these people are structured. And notice in the top 3 or 5 things I just mentioned, not family, not friends, not their colleagues. They don't give a shit. And by the way, your observation, Tom, is incredibly insightful because, as you've also pointed out on Midnight's Edge on the morning show with Andre, that you like my little commercial. You see how I move that in there, Tom? I'm
Every morning at 11 a.m. on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah, sometimes they have a Mexican. On the good days, they don't.
Yes, we do. No, on the good days we do show up.
No, what I was going to say is that this ties in nicely to what I've heard you talk about in the last week about the trial, where we were getting an additional insight into how Hollywood really works and how they look at this stuff from the inside out, from the deal-making, decision-making side out to the rest of our universe of what we see, which is the
and the thing that stuck out to me most was Mr. Marks on the stand. I wish I could remember his first name, but this guy's been in the business since forever ago. Like, he was in the room when they made the deal for Star Wars, and George Lucas is like, I don't care, just give me the toy rights. And they're like, you can have the toy rights. He wants the toy rights. He was there. I mean, he's been a part of this for so long, and he said, I have never seen the industry shift as quickly as it did when it came to the Me Too thing, which to me signifies it was probably the same thing overall with woke in general. And that's kind of what we've seen, right? And with this kind of a situation, same thing. The moment Kiki said something, they snapped right into motion. And that same gentleman said in the trial that there's these clauses now where they can just fire somebody because of this kind of shit, right? And they are basically, that's the whole point they were making, is that the deal for Pirate 6 fell apart because of this, Amber Heard editorial or whatever, op-ed. And we have a similar situation here with this movie. Kiki said something, her feelings were whatever, and because of her fifis, they can't move ahead with this picture now.
She's gonna ride this out as much as she can. She's gonna
Of
look for
course.
every opportunity she can get out of this. It won't stop at just trying to cancel Bill. She's gonna try to get deals off this, try to be like the, kind of like, how Amber Heard was supposed to be like the poster boy image for like abuse. She wants to have something. I had mean jokes told about me. This is my story.
Look, you're not wrong, Nick, but I think it's more likely 6 is correct. She's having a bad week, and on top of the boyfriend breakup. So, but
she's probably having a bad life.
And she's on the rag, I'll bet you.
Yeah.
She's on the rag for sure.
I don't characterize it that way, but 6,
Men have shitty timing when it comes to that stuff. So
yeah, we don't do good, yeah, that's true.
Well, and Bill Murray, he said that he's talking it through with her and the people who are helping her. And again, this is a conspiracy theory, but did she hire a personal coach, therapist to work through this time with her?
That, or they probably have somebody at the studio already,
her handlers
set for something like that. Because that's what I was getting at with the whole Johnny Depp thing, is the studio is very sensitive to this sort of thing. And for the production to get shut down the way it did, 5 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Right, they wouldn't have shut a production down because of this.
No, they would have told her to piss off,
or they would have just dealt with it and moved on. And this is where Aziz Ansari comes into the picture. This is half his fault, if not all of his fault.
Because he's weak.
He lost control of the situation.
Yeah, he's weak.
And it's a lot exactly like Nick just said in the chat. It reminded me so much of the Ray Fisher situation, even though she's been in the industry a hell of a lot longer than Ray has at this point. it makes me feel like that. Like she feels like she's not getting her just due. She realizes, and I love how Andre put it, and I wrote part of that article, the editorial too, but he took a lot of my words and he made them even better by basically saying, you know, like, yes, Bill Murray is difficult. We did an entire video on how difficult Bill Murray can be. In fact, it's one of our biggest videos on Midnight's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that video and knowing that, okay, people know that, just like with Johnny Depp, like that guy said on the stand. When you get Johnny Depp, you expect you're going to have him show up late. You expect he's going to be a little difficult with this or that or the other. But what you also expect is that fucking magic that Johnny Depp brings. It's the same thing with Bill Murray. When you bring him to the set, you're bringing him in and you expect that, yeah, he's going to pull some Bill Murray shit, but you're also going to get that Bill Murray magic on the camera, right? That's what matters. That's what they're paying for. And that's what is pissing her off. To her, that's unprofessional because they let Bill Murray be Bill Murray, but she's not allowed to come in late. She's not allowed to do this, that, and the other. But guess what, Kiki? You're not at that point in your career where you're that important to the production. That's the problem. Now, does that excuse Bill's behavior? No, it does not excuse Bill's behavior. But at the same time, like I just said before, Bill Murray's at a place where he could just say, fuck you, I'm out. I don't need this. He's not doing it because of money. He's not doing it because of fame. He's doing it because he wants to. And like he said in that interview, I think we can do something great together, right? He sees something in these people that he has decided that even though at his old age, I'm going to spend almost a half a year of my life working with these people, making a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so important about that I'm willing to put myself through this struggle right now. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I don't think he should have bent the knee, but
She definitely should have not.
At this point, I see where he's at, and he's probably got 100 people coming at him, telling him what he has to do to make this better and right. And Bill is not an industry person. He got rid of his agent years ago. He does not do a movie. Like I said, if he does a movie, it's because he fucking wants to.
He hasn't had an agent in like 25 years.
No.
It's been
he
forever.
has an 800 number.
Yeah. I don't even think that's connected anymore.
It was. It might not be after this.
You know, I'm glad you're mentioning it, Tom, about Bill Murray. When he wants to commit to something, he commits. And like it's like when people want to throw like a racist accusation, I would say, why don't you ask someone like Ernie Hudson? Would Ernie Hudson hang out with a racist? I'm sure Ernie Hudson would say, fuck no, he wouldn't. Like, that's why I'm like, why don't you go ask like any like black man who hangs out with a white man? Because they're gonna all dominantly say no, they wouldn't. Like, but no one wants to entertain that part of the conversation. At least not intelligent people don't want to handle that part of the conversation. They ain't ready for that type of shit. So they just want to accuse people like Bill because they know it still has a stigma to it. In my opinion, not as much as it once did 5 years ago, because it's tossed around so loosely now. But I guess for Bill, maybe he's just at that point in his age where he just doesn't have the fight in him. Granted, doesn't give him an excuse to be a wuss, but maybe he just doesn't have the same fight he once did.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other side of it is first of all, you know, he's always been an egotistical guy. That's part of his humor, right? Like that's why we love Peter Venkman. Mm-hmm. He is such an egotistical guy that he doesn't get it half the time. That's the joke. The only joke is we know that Bill has that little twinkle in the eye and he gets it, right? But at the same time, I feel like he's in a situation where he knows this is a no-win scenario. What can he do? This is not even like the Lucy Liu situation that kept getting brought up.
See, and this is where I'm concerned because he doesn't have people rising to help him. Like
exactly,
there are people that have this future in front of them because they are not exactly, you know, easily fit in the box kind of comedians or actors, right? One of them that comes to mind for me is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is, you know, Ryan Reynolds. Bill's personality comes out in every role he's in, you know, largely for the most part, especially comedic roles. With Ryan Reynolds, it's the same thing. You know, he's crafted his persona and that leaks into every character he plays. So if you can identify with Bill as like somebody like Ryan Reynolds or a few others that could come to mind, you are looking at your future. If you don't stand up for this person in the old days, especially when it came to comedians, you would stand up for your fellow comedian. When they got in trouble, they said something, off color, whatever, right? Those you would back.
Well, look what happened with Chris Rock.
Yeah, you back him to the backstop.
All the comedians came out in support of him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So it's like this is the moment where if you're a comedic actor, or if you're somebody who could identify with Bill Murray, you should be coming out right now, because otherwise this is going to be you in a few years, kids.
I wish Bill would have said what it was that he said, because that's the only way that's the only way you're going to get the support that you're saying. Because especially
he's probably told not to.
That's what I'm getting at, because it's probably so benign, and whatever it is, and I think Toxic Man Flu came up with this the other night, and I think he's right.
Yeah,
it's probably something along the lines, because the way he's explaining it, it's obviously not a sexual thing or a racial thing. It's a juvenile thing.
Yeah,
and this would happen during a rehearsal.
So
I think Toxic Man Flu is right. He was introduced to her. He's like, "Hi, Bill. This is Kiki Palmer," and he's like, "Oh, hi, Kiki. Is your sister Rosie?"
That would have been funny.
That's probably what fucking happened. I wish
funny.
They would tell us what the fucking joke was, because I guarantee you're right, Culture. If everybody knew that's what happened, you would have everybody, and I mean every comedian in the world coming out right now and going, Kiki Palmer is a fucking snowflake. You can't take a fucking joke.
Yeah, and why is Aziz Ansari putting somebody who was zero sense of humor in a comedy? That's dumb. Of course, Seth Rogen's in there. He's got no sense of humor either.
Well, and Aziz, and that's what pisses me off about Aziz, because he's a stand-up comedian as well.
Yeah, he's not a good one.
He should know the code.
I've never liked that guy.
If he's good or not. That's
I don't
not
want, but I don't know.
He's a little beta ass biatch.
Yeah, I don't understand his appeal, Tom. I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
And also, he should know what it's like to try and be canceled too.
Yeah,
they tried to cancel his little ass a couple of years ago.
3 years ago.
Which with the beta ass biatch, all it does is make him more beta ass biatch. It doesn't make him turn into men.
I think with a lot of these Hollywood celebrities being a bunch of soys, not standing up for Bill, I think they're all like afraid, like not just being afraid, but they're thinking, well, they're thinking I can't say it because I'll be canceled too, like Bill. But the thing is, even if they don't say something, they're still going to get too. They're not exempt from this. They think if they don't say anything, that they're gonna be able to dodge the fire. No, they're not gonna dodge the fire.
Culture has to run here.
Yeah, but I want to say one last thing, and it's you're not wrong, Nick, but this is also part of the young kids playbook coming out of school. They think they immediately deserve everything that everybody else had to work for to get to. They won't start at the bottom of the business. They want to be in the executive suite. They want to be in the C-suite. And and whether you can say that in the corporate world or you want to say it in Hollywood, I'm a star. I'm a lead. I'm not a supporting actor. But you're going to put me here, or they will do this type of stuff. This shit's taught now. It's like everybody has now read Rules for Radicals, and this is the way you overcome the situation that you're in: is you take down the person in front of you, and it's just garbage humanity. But anyway, I'm going to slide out. You guys are incredible humans. I am glad that I made it on time.
Hello,
and you had me at hello, Tom. You had me at hello.
Good night, Culture.
Good night, kids. Everybody have a good one.
Bye. More.
Enjoy your stay.
I'm gonna stalk you. I love you.
Well, let's get to some of these member and super chats here. Since we've had a very emotional 30 minutes or so talking about this Bill Murray thing. I don't know if another guest was going to join us to talk about it as well, but until they do, let's see what's going on here. We got Shoom, who's been a member for 10 months at the minimum effort puppy level. Thank you so much for that. Then Big Daddy MRI sent us in a couple of super stickers here. I think he's hungry because he sent us in a burger besides the hot dog and all that business so far. And then he went and sent us a huge super sticker. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Big Daddy. And Big Daddy sent us a samurai dog waving a number 1 flag. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then we had Hillis Mallory, who says, so Bill in this vid looks much like his cameo in Ghostbusters 2016. The deer in headlights look. Yeah, like And I think Culture was right in that respect. I don't think he has anybody supporting him in this, and that's probably why he made this choice. I think he had everybody coming at him from every angle, telling him this is his only choice, and he didn't have an agent and manager to kind of support and help him out either. Or I don't even think he has a publicist or anything like that either. I'm sure he's very self-sufficient when it comes to this shit. So yeah, I feel like he's probably being taken advantage of to a point, but and they're taking advantage of his passion to want to be in this project.
It sounds like he lives a very far removed life from what he does versus what's going on in Hollywood. Even if they have similar political leanings, I feel like he lives a very far removed life. So for him, he's a stranger in a strange land with this situation. He's absolutely clueless.
He is kind of hands off from Hollywood. I don't know where he lives now, but for years he lived out of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I think I don't know if he lived in Canada or somewhere else for a while too. But like, no, I don't exactly know where he lives. I think he was living even in a houseboat for a while too. But like,
I can see it.
Yeah, like he's just an oddball guy. He goes and he does, and he is just Bill, right? And I hate this idea of people stopping that force of nature. If we have to put up with, some diva activity out of him, so be it. Fuck it, it's worth it. It's Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's softening with age.
That's how I feel, and that's what makes me mad. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, but I don't know what I got. I'm upset that my old heroes, George Washington, Jefferson, and those guys get attacked.
I guess he lives in North Carolina, but anyway, go ahead.
Now my current heroes that I grew up with are under attack. I'm just sick of white dudes under attack. Hashtag Team White Guy. I don't want to go back to living in teepees. Don't return my lands to me. I'm okay.
Yeah, he lives in North Carolina, according to Steph. And yeah, Putin's cat says he lives on a golf course. I wouldn't be surprised. He loves golf. Loves golf. In fact, I think that's how he got involved in Space Jam. That's that part of that story is true. Is like he used to hang out and play golf with all those guys. So, but anyway, Darius Munchausen says confirmed. Culture Casino keeps up with the Kardashians. Sorry, I didn't get to throw this in his face when he's here, but we did get to bring it up on screen at least.
Darius, I love you. That was hilarious.
It was pretty good. We all laughed at it though. Culture gets going, and he's a mile a minute. And then we got Cosmo James, who says they got Bill. Of all people, I never thought he would bend. So no one is safe. I hate this. Well, someone who might have something to say about this, I'm imagining you do. Hello, Sean. How are you doing? Sean Stack.
Hey, Tom, Mike, Six, Nick Weiser.
Hey.
Glad to be
Hello.
here.
Welcome, Sean Stackhouse. I've never been on stream with you before.
No, not yet.
Really?
No.
No, I don't.
I know his channel, but yeah.
Yeah. So regarding Bill Murray, I think if you go back to the history of Ghostbusters and however much he actually ad-libbed on those sets, he's that type of actor. That he's just going to go off the cuff, and he's going to make jokes, and that type of 1984, 1989 thought process does not equal or does not transition over to 2022 very well, because I'm sure in Bill Murray's mind, he was just doing the same thing he's always done, just trying to get a laugh and having fun with people. And then this person just took it the wrong way. And like you were saying earlier, the fact that she had to get like people to manage this for her, it blows my mind. Bill Murray, I read briefly what he said the other day in an interview. He's like, when I grew up, things were completely different than they are today, and I'm trying to learn to adapt because, I'm not content in basically being that old dog that can't be taught new tricks.
Yeah, we actually played that clip, and
oh, cool.
Yeah, the terminology he used sounded like he was put through a struggle session to me.
Yeah, very much so. Very much
like
so.
I was educated and all that other kind of stuff, and I didn't want to be that sad dog that couldn't learn new tricks and all these kind of things and things I'm sure that he was screeched at by some purple-haired bitch.
I mean, if you are going to be signed on and say you're a relatively new actor, maybe over even the past 10 years, okay, and you're going to be signed on with Bill Murray, come on. I mean, even if there are just like 15 of those Bill Murray stories that are true out there, you're going to be signing on with Bill Murray. I mean, he's a comedic legend. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to be Bill Murray. That's really it.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, he had an 800 number. He hasn't had an agent for like 25 years. And, I mean, he only shows up to the movies that he feels passionate about. Obviously, he felt passionate about this. I highly doubt he needs the money.
There's only one movie I can think of that he probably did for the money, and that is Garfield.
I don't know if he did that for the money.
Because I don't believe his story. Because I think his story is a joke.
Well, I think... Well, okay, it could be.
Do you know the story I'm talking about?
The fact that Lorenzo Music was the original voice of Garfield.
No. It had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
He said that may have been the reason why he actually did it. But the reason he said he did it in an interview was he got the phone call on his machine, like he does, and he thought because it was directed by David X. Cohen, the guy who directed a lot of Futurama shows and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
He thought it was one of the Cohen brothers.
I have
read what he said. And I think he's joking around. He said, so I ended up getting stuck doing the movie, and then, it is what it is. But then another time he said something about he did the voice work for the second one from the boat that the first movie bought. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
So that's why I think he did Garfield mainly just for the money. Otherwise, most of his other movies he did because he just wanted to do them because they were, something that he felt passionate about.
I mean, look, what was it? Moonrise Kingdom that he was in?
Something like that it was called, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how much money did that make? Not a whole lot, but Bill Murray did it because he wanted to. The movie he made before Ghostbusters about we can't stop here. It's Bat Country. That guy.
Connor S. Thompson.
Yeah, Connor S. Thompson. He made a
Hunter. Sorry, I should have said that louder.
Buffalo Rome, and then Hunter S. Thompson.
Yep,
didn't like that. Yeah.
So Bill Murray's like, okay, I'll do Ghostbusters, but you've got to fund this movie for me before.
The Razor's Edge, yeah.
Your Razor's Edge, yeah. So
yeah, that was Dan trying to get him to sign on to Ghostbusters. He's like, just say you'll do it, but then tell him you want this passion project. And he did that, but then he was smart and said, I'll do it, but I want my passion project first.
Yep.
And then so he went off and shot that, and they didn't even know if he was going to show up for Ghostbusters because nobody could get a hold of him.
They've never known
until the day of the shoot.
They've never ever known. I mean, even on Ghostbusters too, even though he was the one that was going around trying to round up like Sigourney Weaver, and he's like, just take a warm bath, relax. It'd be like getting back together with the gang. Nobody knew if he was going to show up on this set.
Oh, he was pissed about GB2 because they sold him a completely different movie than what he got. When he got to the set,
they sold him the script where Ray gets possessed. He's driving out like a madman around.
Not just that; it was not like so kid oriented, and they had, they had gone in with what do you call it? And cleaned out the movie quite a bit from being anywhere near adult at all. Like the first film, they made it more like the cartoon.
I wonder if Jason Reitman, now since Ivan has sadly passed, I wonder if Jason Reitman has any say so over like a director's cut for Ghostbusters 2?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I know he was digging through a lot of the stuff with his dad because like during the Ghostbuster celebrations, they would show like deleted scenes and stuff that we still haven't even seen yet.
Right.
That are just like genius. And he's like, why didn't you put that in the movie? He's like, I don't know. You weren't there. You were in the editing room with me then or something like that.
Like you were 12 years old.
Yeah, you were 12 years old. Yeah, because there was this great scene where he's like, they stole nerve gas and this, that, and the other, and Egon's like, if we needed nerve gas, we just make it ourselves. We wouldn't steal it.
Exactly. I mean, they made their packs unlicensed nuclear accelerators. Yeah. I mean, there were no checks and balances on those, I assure you.
There was the other one that I love that is on the Blu-ray that I don't know if you've seen, where he's like, it's on the scene where they're talking about the petty cash. And it's right after the bit where they're like, we're out of petty cash in between here. He's like, I talked to the guy about burning the place down. I think if we do it ourselves, we could save ourselves about $2,500. What do you think? And then Egon just shakes his head. Yeah.
the deadpan from Egon was amazing. I miss
There was so much stuff that just wasn't in there. I'm like, how did you not leave this in the movie? This is gold. But anyhow,
yeah.
we gotta get to these super chats if you don't have
Sure.
anything too much else to say about that. at the
No,
moment.
that was just really my thing. Is mainly if you're going to sign on to a movie with Bill Murray, expect
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
That's kind of what our editorial was today, pretty much. It's like, yeah, we're not excusing his behavior, but much like with the Johnny Depp thing, you kind of have an expectation that goes along with it.
Yep.
You don't know when he's going to show up, but when he does, it's going to be magic. And he may not get along with everybody, but he's going to elevate your film, that's for sure. Mecca J says with $5, seems that Bill was given the type talking to that Gina warned about. Exactly. Yes, I think you're right here. Adam Wolford says, remember what they say about revenge. Dig an extra grave for yourself, because in the end you will die with everyone you're going after. Yes, indeed. Mr. Miyagi said that to Daniel as well. Hills Mallory says, quote, hoodwinked, never trust a bunny. Trenchman says, how funny is it Harry Potter was beaten by furries, Sonic and bad guys? Fuck the world. I don't know if that's bad or it's just retaliation for taking Johnny Depp out of your movie. That was just a dumb move.
I thought that meant for the win.
It might be for the win. I don't know. To me, it was always fuck the world, and now everybody tells me it's for the win. So it's like
it started off as fuck the world, and then someone wanted to make it nice. I still like fuck the world better.
Yeah, there's a movie called FTW, and it does not mean for the win.
Yeah, that's true.
It means fuck the world. ActionCom says, what did you think of the new George Carlin doc trailer? I shared that on Twitter. I found it surreal. The people they featured in it are the biggest comedy sellouts. It's funny you mentioned that. They would have mounted George's head on a pike for half the jokes he said. That's exactly pretty much what I posted when I posted the trailer on Twitter, ActionCom. I said, it's funny that half these people in this trailer would be ones trying to cancel him right now because he wouldn't agree with them, I bet. I mean, we can't say for sure, but I have a feeling that George would have been one of the first noticing that, because he hated politics in general, but he clearly leaned left. But once he's seen that,
not psycho left though.
Yeah, exactly. Once he's seen that these, like, he would go after woke like you wouldn't fucking believe.
If George was still alive, could you actually cancel him? I mean,
he'd be one of the last cancelable people, but he would say everything that, like, Dave Chappelle, we give him, like, he'd come out and George would do one concert. He'd be like, look at these kids. What the fuck is with these kids? Oh my God, you need a safe space. I need a safe space.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Dave
I need
Chappelle,
a safe space.
hold my beer.
Oh, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking Facebook. Jesus Christ.
Jeez, Tom, that was good. You just did George Conjure. No, seriously, he would be like, Dave, hold my beer. I'm gonna show you how it's done. And yeah, the master would have been at work.
They don't like something. The first thing they say, it's a Nazi.
He definitely had some premonition-based material at times. I'm like, because when you look at it in retrospect, like, because as funny as it is, like, you can actually see it through a serious set of lenses and realize, like, there was a lot of meaning with the stuff he was saying.
Oh yeah.
What is this shit that men can have babies now? Men can't have babies.
Imagine a world where Dave Chappelle was the opening act for George Carlin.
Oh, I'd go to that.
Yeah, I'd go too.
People would be dying.
They're birthing people. I hate what America's doing to the English language. They're murdering it. They're murdering words. They're murdering language. He would be just fucking appalled because George loved words and meaning. And he would be like just all over that shit.
You know, it'd be a funny one when if, hey, Mr. Here, go back in mode, Tom. Hey, Mr. Carlin, what are your pronouns?
Fucking you. And pay me.
Pay me for those 3 words.
I got 7. Shit, pick, piss, cock, motherfucker. Shit and piss. Whatever they were. Anyway, Gonzalo Bergali sends us in, I think that's 300 Uruguayan pesos, right?
Nice.
I am really happy to see Mike found the cat before the show. Oh, did you lose the cat, Mike?
No, it's Bambino, the freaking. So I was
Oh.
all stressed out because I was looking. I wasn't sure what we're going live at the same time. I was pissed off at work. I'm probably gonna fire 2 people at the office in California, and then Bambino decides it's a good time to go hunt rabbit and just took off. And I had the back fence gate open, so I had to go. So my taco burrito ass had to go find Bambino, and then he got scared because I was screaming at him, and he hid in a bush.
Oh, poor Bambino.
What about poor Mexican Iron Man?
No, Bambino.
No, Mexican Iron Man.
You sent me that picture of him, and I fell automatically in love with him.
Oh my God.
You realize if I come to your house, I'm gonna I know why he's named Bambino now because he's such a baby.
Yeah, he kind of gets babied a little bit, but
He looks like he gets babied a lot.
I could have used a golf cart when I went to go chase him, though. The guy like, took off. You know, of course, I'm wearing. I come back in a deep.
He's so
sweat.
little. How the fuck can he outrun you?
He took off. Wait, have you seen my body mass index?
Well, I don't know. You said you're looking better than Vin Diesel.
Have you seen Vin Diesel lately?
Yes.
Okay.
He looks like a pregnant man.
Well, I look like I had 2 pizzas and haven't got.
Anyway, let me finish this, and then you can finish the Bambino story.
I'm done.
Glad that Mike found Bambino before the show. I can only imagine the stress of the situation he must have lived, but made for great rant. Check Diego's message or Twitter for context time. All right, well, I'll have to check that out, but I think I got the gist of it already. Speaking of, man, this Vin Diesel news. Let's get into this real quick. I'm not a Fast and the Furious guy. I don't know if any of the rest of you are really into the. Oh,
Nope.
hi, Kitty.
You checked that off the first movie, right?
What was that? Sorry,
You checked that off after.
I didn't
the
even
first
watch the first movie.
Oh.
I have seen part of it because it came out when I had my video store, so I had the preview copy,
Okay.
and I got about halfway through it, and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't for me. And then that was one that all my friends wanted, so I just lent it out to everybody before the movie even came out. So yeah,
Unfortunately, I've seen them all.
yeah. But it looks like Justin Lin, who's I think been with the franchise since the third one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. He's been with them for a while.
He walked away, and we don't know what it was about until just the yesterday, I think it was.
Brie
He took
Larson.
to Twitter. No, actually, it had nothing to do with Brie Larson. It had everything to do with Vin Diesel.
Really?
In fact, he blasted him for being lazy, out of shape, not learning his lines, and showing up late. That's why he quit, was because of Vin Diesel.
Wow. Isn't this Vin Diesel's creation? Like, how can you not show up and learn your lines to something that's your brainchild?
Yeah, work out for family.
Yeah, family. Yeah, for real. That's insane.
So 6, have you seen what Vin looks like lately?
I saw he's got a little bit of a tummy.
Oh, it's a little bit more than just a tummy.
He actually looks
pregnant
like
as
he's
fuck.
a little bloated, a little acidic going on.
He's got IBS, guys. We don't know.
Well, evidently that's
What's
what-
IBS?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh, I think all Mexicans we have that.
I think you're impervious to
Have
it.
you seen what we eat, Sean?
I think
Yes, I used to live in Corpus Christi, so I've seen it.
Oh no, that's the Mexican territory.
Yes, it is.
Shit, Sean's probably more Mexican than I am. If you look.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But gosh, Justin Lin blasting Vin Diesel. Ouch.
That hurts when your longtime director just starts putting you on blast.
Well, especially
I
when
mean,
you call him lazy and stuff.
Do
like
they
that.
need another movie? I mean, they went into space. I
At
think
this point, I don't know.
they've accomplished everything that they could feasibly do. Right?
Have they gone underwater yet?
I don't think so.
There you go. That's the last
They
frontier.
did the ice one, didn't they? Have a submarine in that one or something? I don't know.
They're gonna, you know what? In the next movie, they're gonna discover Atlantis.
Mm.
Isn't Liam Neeson supposed to be in the next one too, or some shit? I don't know. like every actor in the world is signed on for these. I think.
Oh shit!
Jeff C. I don't know if I'm more fit than Vin, but I'm close. I might be close by now. I keep hearing this, DJ, even though I've heard the movie is supposed to be trash, and I've looked at it 12 times at the store and not thought about it. Moonfall. Has anybody here seen it?
No.
No.
It's the new Roland Emmerich movie, the guy who made like Independence Day and 2012 and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, I have an idea.
It's
For
the one
next
about
Fast-
the moon that's the moon is supposed to hit the earth or some shit like that. What were you saying, Mike? Sorry.
I have an idea for the next Fast and the Furious movie. Okay, Fast and Furious, UFO phenomena, and they go through interdimensional portals, and
Well,
then aliens invade. And imagine it's like Independence Day meets Fast and the Furious, and the cars have to hit the aliens before the aliens blow things up.
Not
if
on
we're
my
gonna put like
planet.
if we're gonna put like an interdimensional portal or a black hole in there, we might as well just combine this with the Beavis and Butthead movie.
It's the Fat and the Furious.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
So you're
I
saying
know.
at the end of the movie, Dom basically takes his Charger and he's like on a ramp and he's like, for family, and then just like the end of Independence Day, right up into the center of it.
Yep.
Wasn't the newest or upcoming supposed to be the last one, or they just
I think they got
decided no,
two
we're gonna do
that they're
more
doing. I think it was 10 and 11, and 11 is supposed to be the last one. But
until
Hillis Mallory says F9 was Cars in Space. It was, from what I heard. I
And
haven't seen
that whole scene did not work for me. I'm like, how?
So it was the Jason X of the franchise.
it. Yes.
Yeah, but they were using like old scuba diving equipment. Like, yeah,
Like
weren't
the old
using,
like steel helmet and shit.
yeah, dude, they weren't using like astronauts.
I'm gonna cry.
This was old scuba
Oh my
diving
God.
equipment. Like old scuba. We're talking like maybe 30, 40 years old, maybe older.
Oh
That's
my.
why the rest of the world hates us. 'Cause
I
we
know.
make movies like
This is
that.
why aliens won't visit us. They're like,
I think
"Oh,
Sean's
God."
really onto something. Hashtag I'll be your assistant producer, Sean.
There you go. All right.
I don't know. Action Com says, can they James Bond Vin Diesel's character in FNF, hire a new younger actor and play the role? At this point, I wouldn't. I mean, he is kind of the franchise, and that's why Justin Lin walked, because I'm sure it's like, well, who's going to stick around in this situation? It's sure as fuck they can recast the director a lot quicker than they can recast Vin Diesel. But I think at this point you just basically send this sucker straight to streaming, and you do hire some young person to play a young Dom or something like that. I don't know shit
It's
about
Warner
the movie.
Brothers, right?
No, Universal actually owns this, and this is one of their biggest franchises. But you know what that means, Sean? They could cross it over with Jurassic Park in the next one.
That would be awesome.
Is that a fucking dinosaur? For
We need to go
family!
fast. We need to go faster than we've ever gone before to outrun this T-Rex hybrid.
Family.
Lord. They should just shave Henry Cavill's head and just like give him a tan and put him in there.
But speaking of other people like that, because somebody who has the same agent as Henry Cavill is The Rock. That's another individual who's had some issues with Vin.
Yeah, that's why The Rock got a spinoff.
Yeah, so seems like Vin's more the problem here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought Vin Diesel would be known to be such a drama queen.
Sounds like it. Well, like his whole thing was he like went off about like we made a deal, we made a pact that nobody do any spin-off movies until the main franchise was done. And then The Rock's like, I didn't like working with you because you're an asshole. It's like,
And at this point, who's going to argue with like the highest paid celebrity in Hollywood?
to a point, yes. Here's the thing with The Rock, I don't understand. He is not as big of a superstar as people think he is. His biggest films are the movies he did with other people. Like they're all the ones that he was in, like what do you call it? Ensemble casts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the Jumanji films.
Yes. His highest grossing movie where he is the star is like his Skyscraper movie.
Which was Die Hard, essentially.
Yeah. And then the next one was that San Andreas. Otherwise, like the rest of them are like they didn't do that great. Like they did okay.
That being said, Tom, I think if The Rock, he has enough star power that if he walked into David Zaslav's office and sat down and said, "Look, I want to have Henry Cavill back in the DC universe," he actually might be able to achieve it just because of his status.
He might have the pull,
Yeah, he might have the pull.
even if he's not the most talented.
Especially since they have the same manager, right?
Yeah. Supposedly he did that already, but that was with the prior leadership. Zaslav, I think, is going to play. He's going to play this out and let things go for the next while. Before it's going to be a bit before we know exactly what's going to happen because he's got like 5 or 6 projects that have to be released before, he can even really do anything else. that are already done prior to when he got there.
Let me ask you guys a question.
But the problem with Cavill is he's going to get more expensive every day.
Yeah, and but see that he's already established, and Zaslav has already said what he said about Superman. Like, why in the hell are you putting him on a shelf? We need to showcase this character. But let me ask you guys a question about the CW. People like there was a stream. My buddy Eric from Eric's Reloaded. He had a stream the other night. And they don't believe that Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow being canceled had anything to do with David Zaslav's. But to me, it just seems too much of a coincidence not to. What do you guys think?
Who goes first?
Well, I have basically, if it's not Zaslav, there's only one other reason why I can see these two specific shows being canceled. And that is because they got Batgirl coming, and Constantine, I guess, has had some movement on it, and he's one of the characters on that Legends of Tomorrow show or whatever.
Batgirl, like the Gotham Knights show, or is this?
No, this is the one. This is the one with, I believe she's Hispanic.
Oh, the tokenized one.
And Michael Keaton's supposed to be in it. The one that I've been saying that now there's rumors it's going to go to theaters.
I was going to say, I thought that was going to theater, not
they
TV.
They're talking about it's going to go to theaters. It's got Michael fucking Keaton in it, and it's supposed to be the follow up to The Flash. But anyhow,
besides, I think Keaton was, from what I've read, Keaton was very pissed about his experience on The Flash. I think they're going to want to do whatever they can to please him at this point. Like,
it sounded like he had a lot of fun on Batgirl, though.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Because he said something about maybe coming back again or something to that effect, but not in a costume or something or other. Which that's the whole thing, is that this Batgirl is set up as a de facto Batman Beyond. But beyond that,
which I understand, because nobody, the average movie-going person, doesn't know who Terry McGinnis is, and they know who Batgirl is. So I guess I can deal with that.
Well, and it just goes along with they were trying to de-she things.
They were trying to wokeify it. Yeah,
they need a star. They need the right star power to help carry the lead role, because obviously whoever's playing Batgirl probably doesn't have what it takes to have the same power that Keaton does. So they need someone to help carry her along.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, what you're going to see, most likely, you're going to see his name top billing on the marquee, like Nicholson's was for the first Batman.
It'll be the with. He'll get the with one.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be more like Marlon Brando in Superman, I bet.
Oh, you think it'd be like, and with Michael Keaton at the very end?
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to be in it all that much. He might be, but we'll see. But other than that, let's get to our other topic of the day. Did everybody get to see this trailer yet? Well, it doesn't matter if you did, because we're going to watch it anyway, because it's only a minute.
Yes, and let's do it.
Oh, Lord. I was very pessimistic about this to begin with, and now I'm not much. Not feeling much better.
It looks terrible.
6 platinum records, 5 Grammys. The untold true story.
Is this about Madonna?
Hope you guys are ready for this.
That was Like a Surgeon.
Oh, okay, because I heard Like a Virgin there.
Yeah.
Hold on, Weird Al was shredded?
Yeah,
No.
I don't believe that.
Anyone got
I know Daniel Radcliffe is, but not Weird Al.
What can I say? I'm full of surprises.
Wow.
Looks bland.
That's a hard pass.
Yeah,
I love Weird Al. I just think Daniel Radcliffe is the wrong person to
Yes.
portray him.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
How come they couldn't get someone taller?
Why couldn't they use some of that Disney magic on Weird Al and just de-age him?
Oh yeah.
He probably asked for a lot of money.
Yeah, why couldn't Weird Al play Weird Al? That's a damn good question.
If you're not going to do that, Doug Walker looks and sounds just fucking like him.
Sean's got a great point. They should just use Weird Al and just de-aged him.
Yeah.
They should have, but that's being too logical. They
It
want.
could have even been horrible de-aging. I don't care. It's just Weird Al. He's going to be more Weird Al than Daniel Radcliffe.
Tom, who looks just like him?
Doug Walker, the what's his face? He's a reviewer on YouTube from Planet Awesome.
Oh, well, you're just going to have to assume that he can act.
When we heard about this, weren't we excited that this was happening?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he has a daughter that looks just like him. She could have
A
played him.
nostalgia critic.
Oh, you think he looks... Well, he's bald. So maybe
Just
with
put a
hair.
wig on him. He sounds and looks just like Weird Al.
Yeah,
He's got his voice.
I could see it with like a wig.
Yeah, he can kind of act, and he can kind of act like Weird Al. To be honest with you,
Well, that's his shtick basically on his channel.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Didn't we do a show about this coming out like a year ago?
yeah. Well, yeah, when it first was announced, yeah.
And were we excited about it or not?
We were excited about the prospect, but when they announced Daniel Radcliffe, it was like
Oh, that's right. You're right. Now I'm remembering
completely wrong.
By the way, I'm coming up on my. All right,
casting.
it's been a year that I've been on this show.
You know, I look at Daniel Radcliffe and I don't see Weird Al. Like, I don't think Radcliffe's a bad actor at all, but it's just like you can, once again, and this just goes to show you, even if you have talent, sometimes you're still not the right fit for a character. And I don't think he's the right fit for the character. Like, he can have all the talent in the world, but that doesn't mean you're going to translate it into every single character. Sometimes you can have someone who's a pretty good actor, whoever that may be, and be someone who will be a more applicable fit to say, okay, when I see this guy, I still see Weird Al. You want to have it be believable. Nothing about that looks believable. It just looks like Daniel Radcliffe with a mustache and a really bad wig. That rivals what's his name? What's his name at Who's Carnage?
Woody Harrelson.
It looks as like it's the second worst wig besides Woody Harrelson's wig in the first Venom movie.
Well, and I also think you're bringing up a really good point, Nick, because the thing about Weird Al is that he's an experience. He's not just this character. You know, he's, in my opinion, like he's an experience. I think he's too removed for, I don't know, this guy to play. I think you got, I don't know. That was awful.
I'm sure there's a gimmick to it. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I'm just not sold on what they showed me so far. Now, granted, this is a teaser trailer, not a full-on trailer, but we did get another full trailer today. This one kind of made me laugh. Did you guys see this one?
Yeah.
Who's on board for this one?
Me.
Yeah, I think I am.
I like the idea of it. I just
Let's
need
take
to
a
see how
look.
it plays out.
I have not seen this. Let's a Mexican reacts live on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
I think it looks cute. Here's the second trailer for DC League of Super Pets.
All right, TV night with my bro.
Speaking of The Rock.
Yep.
Yeah, right. That was timely.
So disrespectful.
Oh, hey there, little.
Sorry,
fella.
I got it 1.5 times. It sounds like for some reason.
Nah.
Do I need to start that over?
It is Waka.
Nah.
I have an owner. He's Superman.
And I'm up.
Make him sing to this thing like a melody.
My dog's the best. But he's not the greatest with other animals.
This just seems gross.
We need gross. Smelling stuff is one of the greatest joys of being a dog, next to licking any part of your body. And I lick myself all the time.
Well, that explains the breath.
Of course, Kevin Hart's in it.
I am Lulu, and you will kneel before me. You piece of.
Aw. Hello, Ray Sunshine.
Oh.
What's going on? You're invulnerable.
I should be a lot more dead right now, right? All of us have superpowers.
Still working out the kinks. I didn't see anything. Are you okay?
My best friend is in danger, and you have to help me.
You know what they say about dogs, don't you?
Never feed us chocolate.
We love unconditionally. We're just a bunch of shelter pets. But we're stronger than you think. We'll help you get your dumb owner back.
Ace, deploy canine shield.
What is a canine?
Evade! X Excellent, Shield. That seemed incredibly painful.
Why can't I have gotten a magic hammer or something?
What do I have here?
Squeezy Bruce match.
Squeezy Bruce.
Squeezy Bruce.
Freak out.
Okay, so I wonder if Superman's John Krasinski. Is that Superman in this?
I think is that who's doing his voice? I think so.
I was wondering who that was for Superman, but either way, I'm intrigued. I actually am a big crypto fan, so like that's actually kind of fitting for me. So and it's an animation style that fits for animals too. Like that's perfect too, because I don't see that something. It feels a full on Superman cartoon where he's the lead, he's the main character and everything. It wouldn't fit, but since this is Crypto story and all his pet friends, it works, and the jokes fit to the story, and I can tell like the humor is not going to be for everyone, but for those who it's for, it's going to really click with them, and I think I might be one of those people.
I think the best thing is Keanu Reeves is playing Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if that is not a licensed toy, I am going to totally freak out.
Did anybody else notice that Superman's shield was the more or less Kingdom Come shield?
Yeah, it's like it emulates the older shield, but yeah.
Interesting.
Which is
I
like
liked
my
it.
second favorite shield, but yeah. Yeah, it looks cute. I don't take it too seriously though. So
I'll probably catch it on HBO Max. I don't know that I'll go see it.
right, yeah, I doubt I'll go see it in theater. But.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it more than the Batman.
Looks like something fun if you got little kids you can take it to,
Oh, yeah. I got children. They'll eat this up.
There you go.
I have people that have been requesting me to watch the Batman for my Patreon, and I'm just like,
you still ain't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
I'm jealous.
I'm sorry.
Sean, I bowed out at about the 28-minute mark.
Well, that's all the farther you made it?
Yeah.
That's about as far as I made it too.
The trailers just rubbed me the wrong way, man. I just did not.
Are you a longtime Batman fan, Sean?
Since the first Keaton movie? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think you're gonna have some issues in the first freaking scene.
Probably.
But we'll see.
The scene that he's getting blasted by 2 machine guns in the chest as he's just like casually walking up to him.
That too.
I was like, no freaking way.
In addition to that.
Yeah, I think I'll have issues.
Trenchman says, can Warner buy back Pacific Rim from Universal? They can, probably. I just don't think they would.
More importantly, who owns Voltron, and can Warner Brothers buy them?
I think that's some Japanese company that owns that. And then Trenchman says, I think this Weird Al movie looks like Walk Hard. I mean, I have a feeling that it is going to have a parody element to it. Like, that's probably why it looks the way it does and why Daniel Radcliffe's playing him. I'm willing to give him a benefit of doubt that there's something to that, but I don't want to watch some goofy parody-esque Weird Al Yankovic biopic movie. I want an actual Weird Al Yankovic biopic movie, right? Like, I don't want a joke. And that's what this looks like to me. I mean, but it's not about what I want. It's what Al wanted, and he picked this kid, and I'm like calling him a kid, like fucking I barely know who he is. He picked Harry Potter. So
Al actually had,
I guess, yeah. I guess he's like one of the executive producers, and he supposedly handpicked. Like, okay, here's what I said when I first heard he was playing a part. I can see what they're doing. It'll probably be like Al will probably be like narrating his own story, and he'll probably be like, "So we need an actor or whatever," and then like they'll bring in somebody who looks just like him, and he'll be like, "No, he's too weird," and then like they'll go to like some sexy like rock looking dude, and he's like, No, too big. And then it'll get to like Daniel Radcliffe, and he's like, "Oh, Harry Potter, I can work with that."
It's gonna be a weak lame private parts type thing.
Yeah, only a reversal kind of a thing. Like it's just like what he wishes he looked like at that age. That's what.
So it's gonna be like the Goldbergs.
Kinda, I bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that too.
Yeah. Well, it's coming to Roku. It's not even coming to theaters.
Oh, that's right. Well, I do have a Roku, so yay.
I don't, but
God, when's the last time I plugged mine in?
I have a Roku, and I still don't care about that Yankee.
Now I just want to watch Walk Hard.
Walk hard. Dude, I just showed my girlfriend that for the first time, and she's like, how have I missed this movie all my life?
I'm doing pretty goddamn good for a 15-year-old with 7 kids and a monkey.
Oh, Dewey, you walk so hard.
Let's
that
do
movie.
it.
I don't
Yeah,
guys
the
should
duet.
watch. I don't think guys should do that.
Dude, do it. Do the duet and watch it. Seriously,
You
Mike, have you
can
not seen
close
Dewey
my
Cox?
back door.
No.
Oh my God, Dewey Cox
What?
is hilarious.
Hey,
And
I'm
everyone
Mexican.
dude, no, but it's you, Mike. You need to watch Dewey
Okay,
Cox.
what am I?
and
Let me write this
want-
down. I'm gonna put it on my movie list. Here we go. Right
Make
now.
it to make that.
And
to
make
the
sure you
upper
watch
tier.
the, what is it called? The unbearably long, overindulgent cut.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous name. Yeah, it's a
How do I
ridiculous
spell this?
name.
DOO.
DEWEY.
Yeah.
Cox.
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 Not
Dewey
CLCK.
Cox.
Okay, it's basically, it's got John C. Reilly in it, and it's like a parody of Walk the Line, is what it is.
All right, so I'm gonna watch Dewey Cox.
Walk hard.
Walk the line, the long ass version.
No, it's the uncut version. It's there's two different versions of the movie. There's the theatrical cut, and then there's the uncut version.
Right.
You want the long cut? That's the funnier one. Toxic Man Flu is in the house. Says Tom. Honest thoughts on Daniel Radcliffe on the upcoming film. I just said what I felt. You must have missed it. I ain't too sold on it. I don't think he's a bad actor per se. I just don't. I don't see Al when I see him. I ate some crow on Rami Malek. I don't think I'm gonna be eating crow on this one. So this says Voltron is owned by World Event Production and American company. Oh well, I didn't know that. And they have a deal with DreamWorks Animation. Well, there you go. There's your answer to that one.
All right, let's do it.
I just assumed they were owned by a Japanese company. See, I'll probably just send you that movie, Mike. It's probably not that expensive.
I have every streaming service. It's got to be on something.
I don't know if it is or not. I'll have to look.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, it's one of those movies that just kind of faded away. But I'll get you a copy of it probably. So if not, let me know if you find it. If not,
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna look for it right now.
it's a good.
Continue on. I'm gonna go.
Well, we got a member chat anyway. So Cardinal Sin, who's been a member for 6 months at the maximum effort puppy level, says, "Hail Midnight's Edge! Hail to the panel, the mods, and the chat. What would I do without Midnight's Edge? Dunno. Thank goodness for Midnight's Edge." Well, thank you, Cardinal Sin.
I'd have a lot more free time without Midnight's Edge.
I would say,
I can tell you
yeah,
that
6
much.
would have free time. I would need a job. You'd probably be listening to something else. Mike would be going Reba somewhere else.
Oh, it's on Hulu for free. I can watch it on Hulu.
That's probably
yes.
yeah.
Still, it's a start.
It's a start.
Baby steps. Let him work his way through theatrical, and then when he falls in love with it and is over the moon about it to you and me, and then he'll go to the ridiculously extended cut, whatever that bonkers name it had.
Yeah, but it is like 45 minutes longer.
no, it's a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's one of those few extended cuts that I actually enjoy. But anyhow, I think we hit pretty much all the main news, didn't we? Was there anything else, Six? Or
Well, I sent you that link about the bullying going on towards, what's the American Chavez actress? But I didn't actually see any bullying. I just saw the response.
Another one of those. So it's a Rose Tico situation all over again.
I guess, yeah. Benedict Wong, he had, I guess he posted it on Twitter saying something about against the people who are going after her, going after the character, I guess, because she has 2 moms.
Interesting.
No, something tells me it's a Rose Tico story. This seriously sounds like it's the fakest thing. Like, it's like they're trying to create a controversy so they can look at all these.
So they have something to
look
talk
at all
about,
these
yeah.
bigots, yeah, so we can have attention towards the movie. And it's unfortunate because this young girl who's playing this character. Granted, I can put my feelings about America Chavez aside from the actress. I can do that, but it's worse for her because she's gonna grow up thinking this is how adults handle business. That is a very bad precedent to be a young child to see this shit go and think, oh, this is just how they do things. And what's going to happen when the pendulum swings back the other way, and it will, whether sooner or later is a debate for another day. But how's her mindset going to adjust to when she realizes holy crap, I lived this other life that was basically just people getting played and creating stories out of nothing. I all I know is I truly believe like people like her, whether they're good or bad, they're gonna have some really bad mental health issues for the next X amount of years because of crap like this.
Yeah. As far as the Doctor Strange reviews, Atma, if I'm saying your name correctly, they're kind of middling when it comes to the critics so far. Chris Gore didn't seem to care for it. It's not sounding the best, but we'll see here. I think within the next few hours, you'll hear some more responses to that. Andre's supposed to have seen it before tomorrow morning, I believe. I think I'm going to see it Thursday, and I think the rest of us here, except for I don't know if Mike, you're going yet or not, but I think Six, you said you're going. Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm looking forward to it.
So Sam Raimi failed?
Yes.
We'll have to see, I guess. It's not sounding too good, though.
Okay, so I read around 15 of the reviews in their entireties of the stuff that was on Twitter and some of the critics said, because as of now on RT it is 80% with like around 100 reviews. And here's where it's surprising. One of the critics bashed it, saying that it was a very Sam Raimi movie. Make of that comment what you will, but he hated it for it being like a Sam Raimi movie. So it sounds like Sam Raimi may have actually had some say in this. Obviously, I can't prove that, but if someone's trashed this movie for saying that it feels like and looks like a Sam Raimi movie, I'm thinking I did not expect to hear that as a negative review. You have expected it to been like a negative review on like Too Much Strange, not of Scarlet Witch, but no, this was the complaint. The complaint was that it felt like a Sam Raimi movie. I'm like, that's an odd complaint because I didn't expect to hear that, because we've all talked historically about how Marvel movies are a package deal and you just basically attach your name.
Someone else said it's more like Spider-Man 3 and not The Evil Dead, though. So I don't know if that tells us anything.
Ooh, yeah, and and obviously that's not great either.
We do have I don't know if you'd call this breaking news. I don't know how old this is, but Six just sent it to me. Remember there was talk of another Suicide Squad spin-off show coming to HBO Max?
Yep.
I believe we have the answer now. It looks like, and this actually makes sense, Viola Davis is getting her own series of Amanda Waller. So basically it's Suicide Squad the series.
Interesting.
Wouldn't you think?
Well, I mean, Peacemaker was kind of that too.
Well, in a way, I mean, but that's what she does, though. I mean, she gets these teams together and sends them out, right?
Yeah, she's the head of Argus, and she does whatever she wants. So it might be cool. It might be cool.
All right, I'm gonna be that guy again. We've had notoriously popular characters like Nightwing for 2 or 3 decades, and we're still like paying attention to stuff like characters who barely have been supporting characters at best in book. Granted, she's a character who's been great and been in great books, especially in the John Ostrander run in the 80s. But there's just, it doesn't make sense that we're focusing on characters like this when we have so many other great characters that are far more popular and relevant. It's like we skip the line to these other characters, which, don't get me wrong, I love seeing the other characters have their share and their swing, but we're ignoring so much great DC Comics history that's so much more prominent for stuff like that. It's just such an odd trade-off.
Nick, it's not odd. It's embracing diversity, inclusion, and women empowerment. This is exactly the character that we need to focus on in order to overcome our own bad beliefs so we can be better, Nick.
Why we can honestly do. All right, I'm going to use SJW. Like, we can literally do better by giving Vixen a series. She's a black female character and she has cool powers, and she already has some like people who know about her from Legends of Tomorrow, whether you like the show or not. People at least have something to reference. Like, oh yeah, I remember that character from that show. So you right away bring in some fans off of that. This is just a lady who made the calls for what a team should do, and that's all she's really ever done. Granted, she's really damn good at it, but that's all she.
I think it's going to be a hub for basically, like I said, I think it's going to be Suicide Squad the series, because I don't think there's going to be another Suicide Squad movie at this point. And yeah, that's exactly what I was saying before. This Deadline article here confirms what I said. This is the other spinoff that James Gunn was talking about. So I don't know if he's going to be directing it, but it does sound like he's at least going to be involved in it. They don't have any other information yet, other than it will be with Viola Davis. It will center around her character, and this along with the Peacemaker, which Peacemaker is coming back, obviously. So yeah, so it looks like this is the direction they're going forward from here. I'm not surprised. I get where you're coming from, Nick, and I'm not. I don't. You could be right. It could be a boring, stupid show.
Well,
But I think,
Tom,
I
don't
think-
you think this gives them a lot of flexibility? Because if she's the anchor in terms of this being the center of the show, then they can bring people in and out without having.
That's
to do
what I'm
this
saying.
Suicide
Exactly.
Squad movie.
So that's why it's exactly it. It's basically Suicide Squad, the series, right? Because she's the anchor between those two movies.
Right.
She may have a bit more of a prevalent role, but I guarantee you it's going to be like every few shows. It's probably her bringing in a new team to do another thing, just like they did in the Suicide Squad, and then they die and they bring in another team. You know, I think it's going to be a bunch of that kind of shit. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm kind of more interested in this. Like this does make sense to me. Like I see there's ground for where you can do stuff.
I think this is what they probably need to do, given the state of their universe, of their characters, and what's gone right and what's gone wrong.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Dr. Coffin Nails. It might even be. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. Do we?
No.
Oh, it's going to be called Argus. That's right.
Oh.
Wow, that's original.
Well, I don't think that's the worst name. So obviously, it's focusing on all the people who are inmates at Argus. So once again, there's an opportunity to do a lot of cool characters from that. It's just I don't know. I'm just really having a hard time being pressed on Viola Davis being the lead of this all. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's just once again, there's Nightwing, there's Zatanna. I was gonna say Dr. Fate, but Fletcher here beat me to it.
Fletcher Williams.
You have a
DC
whole.
could have done a Dr. Fate and undercut Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have done a whole Green Lantern universe. There's so much that's being missed out on. The new gods.
Nick, you could, but you're dealing with you're dealing with a studio that they know at some level, and from their own perspective, the box office proves what I'm about to say. They know that they can't even figure out their brand name marquee characters like Superman, Batman. The last thing they're gonna do is touch these other, say, the kind of B-level Iron Man type level characters, from the Marvel side that are in our DC universe. Because I'm a DC guy, I know where you're going. I agree with you, but they know that they can't go there. So the best thing for them, I think, is obviously Viola is easy to work with. She's easy to handle. She's easy to deal with. She's obviously some kind of team player.
Oh,
and
yeah,
this
and
gives
that's
them
fine.
some flexibility to mess around with some characters that the vast majority of people do or don't know.
I think it's. I mean, I could be wrong here. I'm gonna get into movie conspiracy territory, but I think they're emphasizing on these lesser known characters because they feel like they can do more with them and they'll get less blowback about it from, I guess, comic geeks because they are lesser known. Because don't forget, Marvel and Kevin Feige, that was one, besides obviously Warner Bros. Wanted to make a New Gods, one of the other reasons they did the Eternals was so they can literally go out their way to change characters and hope for less blowback. That's why they went for such an obscure property, besides them responding to Warner Bros. With New Gods. They wanted to have something that they could change and hope that it would be like criticism free, which for the most part it was. I mean, me and like 5 other people on the planet knew what the changes were. And unless people actually read the original Jack Kirby run, they couldn't tell you because even a good Google search isn't going to give you the direct answer on that. Maybe a decent YouTube video, but once again, hey, if I hear more details and this excites me, I'm willing to change my mind. It's just right now at the base of Viola Davis led show, just it doesn't make sense.
Well, the only thing we really know other than what we've already said is basically that when James Gunn teased this, he said it won't be as much comedy as Peacemaker. So that's why I feel like it's going to be more in line with just like a more straighter Suicide Squad-ish kind of thing. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we're running long in the tooth. I think we've got a Toxic Tuesday coming up here in a little bit, don't we, Nick?
Yes, we do. And we're going to be talking the epically, amazingly great Rocky 1. I had to say Rocky 1. So for those who are like, which one? Because Rocky 2, Rocky Balboa, the 6th one. The first Rocky, and I'm excited about it. It's obviously or we can even say 1976. It's a classic flick, and besides obviously Sylvester Stallone be like this, there's so many great characters. You got Paulie, you got Mickey, you got Apollo. Apollo's he's like the TV man who's promoting the show like he's Don King or something. It's gonna be great. So yeah, why don't you come check us out in 50 minutes?
Yeah, about 15 minutes. So
50.
50? Oh, okay. 9 o'clock. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out a little early yet. Okay. I thought we were later than that. Okay. For some reason I thought you started at 8:30. All right. Well, unless we had something else to rap about, then I guess we're gonna move on to Sean. Tell everybody a little bit about your channel and what you got coming up going on.
Sure. Sean Stackhouse. You can find me at Sean Stackhouse Reacts on YouTube, Sean Stackhouse on Twitter, and I'm starting up a Patreon to where we watch full-length movies and upload our reactions to those. The Batman is going to be one of those, and I highly, highly dread it. Yeah. If you like pop culture and music and all the things that go along with pop culture, please stop by, give me a like, subscribe if you like what you see, and yeah, you can always send me a DM on Twitter as well.
All right. 6, you got anything coming up?
Yes. Tomorrow I will be in chat on Midnight's Edge.
Awesome song.
Yeah.
And then, are you got anything between now and Thursday?
Who, me?
Just Midnight's Edge.
Because Thursday, kids, just so everybody knows, since I'm going to see the film, it sounds like 6 is going. The show, if we do one, will probably be at like 9 or 10 Central. And we'll probably
that'll be awesome because I got the 7. I was actually going to tell you I was going to be late Thursday because I got the 7 o'clock showing here. Awesome, perfect.
Well, there you go. Well, and I think you're an hour ahead of us anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead of you.
So we'll probably come back here and probably more like 10 Central then, and chances are we'll give our first reactions to the film. So join us for that. So no regular show on Thursday, but we will do a Doctor Strange reaction show, and it sounds like at least probably 6, and Mike will be here, and Lord knows who else will show up. The last one we did I think it was for the Batman. Oh God, we had a shit ton of people on here. So I think even Yellow Flash jumped in for a bit on one of them. I can't remember if that was the Batman or the other one before that. But anyhow, so yeah, check in for that Thursday. I'm gonna try and do a 4K for you on Wednesday. Mike, you got anything coming up? I think you're on Taco Tuesday today, so you're gonna be on Loki's tomorrow. You got anything else?
No, I did Loki's this morning. The only thing I got, on my Twitter, I'm doing a campaign to support Brian Rizzo. He's doing a fundraiser for Homes for Wounded Warriors. I just dropped the link in the chat, and check out my Twitter. And other than that, I can't wait to do the review for Doctor Strange. I wasn't excited, Tom, but I am excited to go and see it because what the hell? Let's do this, right?
Right. No, that should work out because my showings, I think, get 5 my time. So if you're an hour ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm at 6:50, actually. I just looked at my ticket.
All right, yeah, so we should all be I'll just set it for 10 my time, and we should all be home by then.
Yep.
So.
I'm at 3.
Yeah, you're way earlier than the rest.
You'll
be home by the time you'll be just getting done
Yeah.
when mine's starting. So yeah.
You know, I actually wasn't
about
really
halfway
interested in the movie until the other day on Midnight's Edge in the morning. You guys broke down, you showed individual screenshots, and Wanda has me very intrigued for this movie.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The movie itself is just over 2 hours long. It's not as bad as some of the other ones we've gotten lately. I think
Surprisingly,
it's only 2 hours and 6 minutes, I think. But
yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Chris Gore said you feel every minute of that, though. So we'll see.
Ooh.
I'm hoping it's good. Good.
Chris didn't like it.
That's what had me kind of go, oh fuck.
You know what's surprising? Rob Liefeld, who pretty much usually is always over the moon by MCU flicks, he was sharing off retweets that were all not in favor of the movie. I'm just usually he would never acknowledge that type of stuff. I'm like, oh my god, Rob Liefeld is doing this. I couldn't believe it. He was even showing off good, I guess you could say, good reviews.
Was he commenting
about Eternals? But now it's Strange.
If he's saying something, if he's saying something, that makes me wonder if Deadpool's in the movie.
You know what's awesome about this movie, Doctor Strange? If it bombs, it has absolutely no bearing on whether or not Sam Raimi directs another Spider-Man movie for Sony.
Why you say that?
Because Sony is still interested in doing allegedly their own like another movie with Andrew, even though he says he's retired for a little bit, taking a
Well,
break.
it's just like a year.
Yeah, and then that fourth Toby movie that everybody seems to want. So I mean, I'm not talking about Tom Holland. That's intertwined with Disney a little too much. But if you took either Andrew or you took Toby and Sam Raimi did a Spider-Man movie that way, for the Spideyverse, I don't think the performance.
I think that's a lot of fan wishful thinking. The closest I've heard on this is Andrew Garfield might show up.
Yeah, I've heard that
Venom
too.
3.
I've heard that too. And Sam Raimi said that he would love to work with Toby and Kirsten again. If it's not Spider-Man, some other film.
But that's the thing is, now that John Watts walked away, I have a feeling that I think you might be right in a sense that it doesn't fucking matter, because I think I've had a feeling Raimi was going to direct Spider-Man 4 regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this gut feeling for a while, ever since they brought Toby and Andrew Garfield back. When I first heard about it, and Sam Raimi's directing Doctor Strange 2, it's like something's going on here. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets announced as the director of Spider-Man 4, and I guarantee you they're going to come up with another way to get these three guys back together again.
Oh, sure.
That is not going to be a one-time thing. This next one is going to bank on that like you wouldn't believe.
They're going to have more screen time too, I think.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. It was just too cool of a moment.
I think you're right in a way that Raimi will get a Spider-Man 4.
I think so. I mean, his record speaks for itself with Spider-Man 1 and 2, and even Spider-Man 3 is better than the first two Tom Holland movies, in my opinion.
And I mean, and you look at it this way: if Garfield does happen to cameo or pop into Venom 3, you can kind of consider that his part 3.
Yeah.
And then when you get to this fourth one, it'll be all three of the Spider-Man's fourth movies. It'll be Sam Raimi finally directing Spider-Man 4 and all this poetic shit.
Yep.
So you watch. It's going to be like that. I have a feeling. So
I'm all for that, man. All for that.
Yeah. After that last one, there's no way they can't.
Tom, what time are you seeing the movie on Thursday?
I'm seeing it 5 my time, but I got an hour drive too, or so. Actually, more than that. So
because didn't he actually consult?
What was that? Sorry, Sean.
I'm sorry. Didn't Sam Raimi actually consult a little bit on No Way Home?
I believe so.
I thought so.
Because he was brought on like right when all that stuff was happening. So, yeah, that's why that's where I started believing the rumors about Toby and Andrew, was when Sam Raimi was announced for Doctor Strange 2. And then it was like a week or two later that we kind of started getting more serious rumors about it.
Like, give me Spider-Man 4. I know it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Andrew Garfield's like constant denial of the fact that he's in the movie, and everybody's like, I know you're fucking in the movie. Just stop it. So we can't believe anybody.
Well, and at this point too, they've also got it to where if they bring Toby back again, they're like, him and I think Tom are like neck and neck for appearances as Spider-Man now. Remember, right? If you count Civil War and all that shit, yeah. Well, no, you got to count Civil War because they both have had 4 now. Is my point? Yeah.
Oh, got you. Yeah, counting No Way Home. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I just saw on Twitter? 20 years ago today, Spider-Man was introduced in a feature film for the first time.
Oh, that's right. It was on
20 years ago. Holy
May,
crap.
Yeah, the first weekend of May. That's right. You're right, Six. Holy shit.
God damn.
I was there.
I remember going to see that movie. Hell yeah.
I didn't have a single white hair on my head.
I remember we actually saw the midnight showing. I was in 8th grade. I saw it at midnight. I remember. And I slept, I think around 4 hours, woke up and went to school and bragged to the entire 8th grade class I saw Spider-Man at midnight. So that was a great moment to be able to brag about that. And the fact that I got to see Spider-Man web slinging in live action, everything about that blew my mind. Oh yeah.
It trips me out too. Especially the scene where right after Uncle Ben dies and he starts running.
Oh yeah.
And he starts climbing up the wall. As bad as it looks now with CGI, just then when that started to happen that first time, and when he jumps on that car and he does that backflip thing, I'm like, holy fuck. finally, after all these years, I get to see Spiderman. It was like,
right? It was a big deal. Like, it was crazy. Like, see him do all the moves that we've grown up reading in books, seeing in cartoons, seeing him
Cartoons
do
and shit, yeah.
all the climbing up the walls, all the web slinging, and then of him learning his powers. And, when he was doing the whole up and away, Shazam, go web go. Like, dude, memorable quote after memorable quote. And then, of course, my mind was blown away when I saw J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. You want to talk about 10 out of 10 casting?
Perfect.
What a perfect part that, I mean, to me, he's Indiana Jones that role. Like, he dies with that role. I mean, some might disagree, and that's fine, but he's too perfect for that role. Oh yeah, when he embraced the goblin, he hopped on that platform and he choked the guy. I was like, dude. And then he talked to the mirror to his hallucination. I'm like, yes, that's the Green Goblin. That's what he does. He literally talks to himself.
Yeah, that was epic, man. And for me, the first two Spider-Man movies are way better than the X-Men trilogy that we originally had.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because to me, the really, I mean, even looking back, even now, the only real good X-Men movie is still X-Men 2. Other than that, they're really even Days of Future Past doesn't hold up as well as it did at the time.
I mean, Days of Future Past is probably
the second best one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I mean, Spider-Man 1 and 2 was like straight up Spider-Man. It's like he walked out of the comics.
Logan's good, but Logan's kind of its own thing in a weird way. I mean,
it's completely different.
Logan's a 7 out of 10 movie that just happens to get that much more accolades because of the time and day and age it's come out in. Well, and actually, Dr. Coffin Nails, actually, you know what? I do like First Class. I would probably actually give it like a 7.5, 7.7. Okay.
It was good.
I like First Class. I think Matthew Vaughn actually understands the X-Men. Granted, I think he actually gets those characters. He actually wants to do superheroes and tell their story, not what can I make it about me with these characters.
Mm-hmm. I think Logan, in the grand scale of things, was really an Elseworld story anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have as much of a problem with it deviating from a lot of the, World War Hulk stuff and all that business. And I thought it was good for what it was. I mean, I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but I mean, I can see where some people are probably like it's a bit overrated. I can understand that too. Yeah. But I enjoyed it quite a bit for what it was. I argued that Patrick Stewart should have got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Oh, 100%. And the first time I saw Logan actually run somebody through with his claws, you could see it on the other side with blood. I was like, that is how it should have been the entire time.
Well, and then, of course, they really amped it up with the movie before that. I don't know if you remember how they attached it. They set up his death.
The one with the samurai?
Yeah. Because the girl tells him, you're going to die with your heart in your hands. And then when you realize that he dies holding his daughter's hand, you're like, oh, you fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those little moments that especially gets to father figures. You're just like, oh, damn it.
He never really got his healing factor back from that second movie, did he?
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think so either.
Not 100%. Plus, when he was older, it just took longer for him to heal and shit, too, I think was the other thing.
Yeah. It wasn't in like the first or second movie where he took like a shot to the head and just took a couple of seconds, got up, and the bullet just closed up.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, you didn't get that till now, Dr. Coffin Nails? Oh, yeah, they telegraphed. Like, that really got to me in the theater. Like, in the moment they did that. Because I just happened to watch the Wolverine just before I went in to see Logan. Because I knew there was supposed to be some connection.
Did you cry?
I got close. Because it was really sad. It was like, not like Yondu in Guardians 2, though. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy, boy.
Oh, funny.
That'll get you every time, especially when he plays that fucking Cat Stevens song.
True story.
There's 2 or 3 songs that get to just about every father. There's that song, Cats in the Cradle, a few other, you can't, no.
A boy was just like me.
Don't, Mike.
My rabbit chicken was just like me.
Tom, do you still get emotional during the Ugly Kid Joe version?
It actually, I like that version. It's not bad. It still has the emotion to it.
Yeah, I love
singing
that
on
version.
karaoke next time.
That's my favorite version of the song, actually.
I mean, that one was one I thought that there was an era there for a while where there was some cover songs that weren't bad. Like they did a pretty good job. And of course, you know, one of the ones that sticks out most to me is like Rock On, of course.
Def Leppard.
Well, no, Hey Kids, rock and roll, rock on. So much better. The remake's better than the original. Same thing with Joan Jett. Yeah.
There was Michael Damian in the 80s or early 90s, and Def Leppard did it about 10 years ago.
Oh, did they really? I didn't know they redid it.
Yeah, it was for like a greatest hits package.
Oh, wow. I did not even know they redid it.
You should check it out.
So they did a remake of a remake.
They did.
Tom, I thought about it, how it should go. My rabbit chicken arrived just the other day. He came to the world in an interdimensional way, but there were rabbits to catch and chickens to hatch.
It sounds like a Sonic the Hedgehog song.
I am the Eggman.
That movie was so good. I had so much fun on that movie.
I still need to go see it.
I could not believe I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh, Jesus. I needed that. That's a good place to end it, kids. I'll see you. I'm gonna hop into Nick's show. So hopefully to see you guys there. We ended the show like 20 minutes ago. That was the after show.
Yep.
You got the after show.
All right. Take care of yourselves and each other while you're at it as well.
As a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't.